What happens if your characters are moving through the city and they are going to a destination? Maybe they're doing an investigation or something like that, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, gunfire rings out and it's coming in their direction. Well, what will they do? Well, today on Classic Tabletop RPG Friday, I'm going to answer that question for Dark Conspiracy, because there is a specific mechanic that looks at situations just like I described. And so we're going to go ahead and look at that particular special situation. So this video won't be all that long. But like always, at the end, we are going to have the question of the vid. So make sure that you stay until the end for that. And since this is not going to be a long video, it'd probably be good if we just get right into it right now and roll them. So what would your character do in a situation like that? Well, they can do a couple of things, but in Dark Conspiracy, there's a possibility they just may panic. Yes, Dark Conspiracy has a panic mechanic. Yeah, I'm a poet, don't know it. Oh man, what's going on? King Kong. Oh, what is the deal? Holyfield. Oh man, I'm just going off here. Okay, anyway. Anyway, yes, there is a panic mechanic. Now, I'm not sure if Dark Conspiracy was the first to actually have a separate mechanic for something like this in tabletop RPGs. If they were not, they had to have been one of the first. I mean, this is coming in pretty early in the tabletop, maybe 20 years, within 20 years of tabletop RPGs being in existence. So it may be. Now, I might be wrong on that. I'm just guessing. No research has been done. I'm just guessing. But yes, there is a specific panic mechanic in Dark Conspiracy. And that's what we are going to look at today. Now, there are two major situations, even though there's a third. We'll look at that in a second. But there are two just major situations where this panic mechanic kicks in. Number one is when you get knocked down by a wound. Or wound damage, I should say. All right, so if you take damage, it knocks you down and you're wounded and it's you feeling it, y'all. You're feeling it. All right, well, then that's the situation. Or the situation that I just described. Hey, you're going about and all of a sudden ambush, surprise attack from out of nowhere. Now you have to determine whether your character is going to panic. So how do you do that? It's a simple thing. All you do is roll 1d6, and then you compare that to your initiative. And if the roll is higher than your initiative, then you're going to panic. If it's not, or it's equal to, then you won't panic. So how long will you panic if you do panic? Well, let's talk about how you panic in Dark Conspiracy first, because it's not just running around and just blind panic or something like that. That's not how this works. You actually just kind of freeze in place and are confused about what's going on, and so you don't take any action when you panic. But if you do panic, you panic for a number of phases equal to the difference between the initiative and the die roll that you just rolled. Now, you don't have to just stand there for the entire time. On the second phase, you can go and hit the ground. So let's say, for example, with Marcus Camden's place, which he's probably going to panic in just about every situation because he's only got an initiative of 1. But let's say I roll a 3, right? Well, he'll panic for 2 phases. Now, it's phases and not turns. Now, if you haven't seen the video where I describe the difference between the two, I will leave a link for that down in the description, but I've already gone through that. It will be for just that number of phases, and then after that they should be good to go and they could jump right in. Hey, let me go ahead and interrupt myself here, and I want to encourage you to join the Elite Squad. Now, you guys have seen me talk about the Elite Squad quite a bit on the channel, but it dawned on me, I'm like, maybe I have not actually explained the benefits of joining the Elite Squad well. So I want to take the time real quick to do that right now. And I'm going to list 3 benefits of joining the Elite Squad. Number 1, of course, there's that monthly giveaway that I talk about all the time. And I recently changed this. There's still a monthly giveaway, but I did change it. If you were part of the Elite Squad, you would know that. But that's not the best benefit, not in my eyes. The best benefit is, of course, the community. Having access to our private chat server and being directly connected to others in the Elite Nation. You guys can talk about things, and we have all these different channels over on the server. So if you want to talk about art, if you want to talk about movies, if you want to talk about tabletop RPG maps, if you want to talk about virtual tabletop, and of course, if you want to talk about those non-fantasy alternative genre tabletop RPGs, which have all of their separate rooms, you can do that over in our private chat server. And it's just having that connection in a casual environment that's no drama. And really, maybe you want to, throw something back and forth at people, ideas and things like that. This is the place to be. And there's a lot of people in there that have been doing this for quite a long time that would be more than willing to help you out. Now, another thing too is that you need to be part of the Elite Squad in order to get access to that private chat server. Otherwise, you gotta go bye-bye. Sorry. That's just the way that it is. That's my condition of being a part of this great community. And then there's the third benefit, which is getting early access to those things that we have going on in the RPG Elite Network. And let me tell you, there is something right now that's going on that you guys don't know nothing about. And it's been going on for a couple of months now. And if you want to get in on these things early, because we got more than a little bit planned, then you can if you're part of the Elite Squad. All right then. So since I laid out the 3 benefits, maybe if you like what you hear now, you might want to join. How do you do that? Simple. Down in the description, there is a link. That link, that one that just flashed across the screen. Click that link. The first one you're going to see is going to take you to a landing page. Over on that landing page, there are going to be a space there. You're going to fill in your name. You're going to put your email address in, and then you're going to crush the blue button, and that'll be it. You will be part of the Elite Squad. So I hope I went ahead and explained this a little bit better for you, and that you will consider joining the Elite Squad today. All right, enough of me. Let me get back to me. Now, there is another special situation where the panic mechanic would come into play, and that is when something is charging at the character. So that could be anything from a horse to a car or a truck, shoot, even a rhino or elephant. And those last 2 is those are veritable situations where you just may panic. So how the character panics is the only difference. So they're not going to stand there and like freeze. They're going to run away. However, they're going to run away from whatever the attacker may be in a straight line. You ever see that in movies, right? Like they panic and so they run away, and they run in a straight line so that whatever's charging at them can still get a straight beat on them. And you're kind of yelling at the screen going, what are you doing, man? Zigzag, get behind something, do something. Well, we can say, I'm not saying this is the case because normally that's just bad writing, but we can say that the reason why they run in a straight line is because they're in panic mode. They're not thinking straight. They just figure the same thing as always. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And I just want to get out of here as fast as possible. Not thinking that, it's also the shortest thing for your attacker, but hey, I'm in panic mode. So we could say that's the explanation for that. So that's what will happen. How you do panic with the 1d6 and the initiative, still the same, but how you react is going to be different than from the 2 other situations. And those are the only 3 situations that they have where you would go into panic. Now, me personally, I would have other situations where you can go into panic. The sudden revealing, right? Kind of like by surprise of some extra dimensional beast you ain't never seen before in your life that looks terrifying. Okay, that could be a situation where characters may panic But again, that last one is just like a homebrew rule right there. That is not something that is officially within the game, but that's kind of an example of what I would use as another situation where you would panic, at least the first time that they see something like that. But that pretty much is it. Panic mechanic is pretty simple, and there's some simple situations where you can use it. And it especially goes down during combat. The panic mechanic is a unique mechanic to Dark Conspiracy, even though now there are a lot of games that have similar types of mechanics. Like Alien is one of them. It has a mechanic called stress, and that is understandable, seeing that there are xenomorphs kind of creeping around the corner there, and if they jump out at you, yeah, stress is kind of like the low tame word that you would use in a situation like that. I like these kind of mechanics. It adds an element of believability to the game. Now, I'm not looking for realism when I'm playing a game. I'm looking for believability. Believability is different from realism. If I want a realism, I stay here, right? I stay in this world. When I want believability, I borrow from this world. There is a difference. Hey, if you got any value out of this video today, then could you do a brother a solid? And could you just crush that like button? Also, if you want to stick around and you've just been watching my videos for a while, I come out with videos every Tuesday and Friday. That's God willing. He will allow me to live another day to do so. Let's get to the question of the vid. Love this. I love questions of the vid because I like reading you guys' responses. But today's question of the vid has to do with special mechanics. So we looked at the panic mechanic, and that's a, kind of standalone special thing inside of Dark Conspiracy. What I want to know is, what kind of special mechanic have you enjoyed in a tabletop RPG that you've played? Now, I say a special mechanic, so I'm not talking about run-of-the-mill mechanics like just about every tabletop RPG has. I'm talking about a mechanic or something that's done in a different way that a particular RPG does it, that you enjoy and that maybe you still play. Want to hear this, folks? Let's get some engagement going down in the comments below right now. You know what that means? That means I gotta slide on out of. What's that from? let me see if anybody knows what that is from. I just said one word from a song from back in the day. Who did it? Slide, slide. Okay, I can give you a big hint now. Okay, well, now it's time for me to slide on out of here and do my snaggle puss.
So exit, stage left.
Hey, if you got a game this weekend, y'all, then happy gaming. I pray it is an RPG Elite session that's more immersive, enjoyable, and meaningful. So until next time, once again, God willing, it's me. It's your boy Servant, and I'm saying peace. 5,000 leets. That's right. I'm outie.